first we should understand, what does voice mean in grammar, right? Of course, we know what a voice usually is. You can hear my voice. It's how I speak, right? The way of speaking that comes out of one person's mouth. This is their voice. The sounds that a person makes, their voice. We can also say that voice means your ideas, your opinions, the things that you believe. Because we can say that we want people to hear our voice. And it's not only the sound, it's the idea that we have. We want them to hear this and understand it. So sometimes we say voice like opinion, right? Or if we're talking about elections in the government, choosing a new president, for example, people vote for the president, and we can say that this is their voice, the voice of the people. It's the decision of the people, what they want, what they think, right? So, but in grammar, it means something different. We have active voice and we have passive voice. Active voice and passive voice. Active voice is what we usually say. We usually speak with active voice. We don't usually speak with passive voice. There are some special situations when we speak with passive voice, and we'll talk about that today. But usually we speak with active voice. What does this mean? Well, in active voice, usually we say subject, verb, object. I see you. You see me. Right? This is how we usually speak. I, subject, see, verb, you, object. You, subject, see, verb, me, object. This is how we usually speak. I see you, you see me. I learn, I study languages, I teach people, right? This is how we usually speak in English. This is active voice. Active voice starts with the subject. This is how we can think about it. It starts with the person or the thing that does something. So if he does something in the sentence, then I start with he goes to the cinema every month, right? He goes. Person who does the thing, we usually start with this. This is the subject. In passive voice, it's the opposite. In passive voice, we go object, verb, and then maybe subject. And then maybe we have a subject. Maybe. We don't have to have a subject. And if we have the subject with passive voice, we usually say by, right? By this person. So let me give you an example. Active voice, we could say the girl walked the dog. She walked the dog outside, right? The girl walked the dog. In passive voice, we say the dog was walked. And if we want to, if we need to, we can say by the girl, right? So it's very different. In active voice, the girl walked the dog. The girl is the beginning of the sentence, And the girl is, and we focus on the beginning of the sentence. We focus on the girl doing this action. But in passive voice, we start with the object. So we focus on the object. And so we focus on the dog. The dog was walked. And now the subject is not important. So when do we use this? Don't worry, we will talk about this a lot more. When do we use this? We use this in a few different situations. First, we don't know who or what the subject is. We don't know who or what the subject is. For example, the bank was robbed. Somebody took the money from the bank. The bank was robbed. We don't know who did it. So we can use passive voice because we just focus on the object, not who did it. We also can use passive voice when the subject is not important. Right? The subject's not important in context. It's not important in this situation. So a good example of this is, I was born in 1986. I don't need to tell you by my mother, right? It's not important for me to say this information when I tell you the year that I'm born. But of course, it is important that my mother bore me, gave birth to me. But when I'm telling somebody the year that I'm born, it's not important for me to include this information, right? These are the two main reasons why we use the passive voice. And the last reason, we don't want to say who or what the subject is. We don't want to say who or what the subject is. Like, you are walking down the street with a bag of money and the police say, "Hey, where did you get that bag of money?" And you say, "It was given to me. It was given to me." Somebody gave it to me, but I'm not saying who, right? So sometimes an English speaker might use passive voice to say that they don't want to tell some information. "Oh, where did you get that? Where did you get that necklace?" "It was a gift. It was given to me." Right? It's not important, or I don't want to say who gave it to me, but somebody gave it to me. So these are some usual reasons why we use passive voice. To change active voice to passive voice, there are 3 steps. So first of all, what is passive voice? Passive voice is really the verb to be plus the third form of the main verb. This is also called the past participle. So we have the verb to be, and we have this third form of the verb that we call past participle, right? Like the verb to eat. Eat, ate, eaten. Eaten, the third form, is called the past participle. So when we make passive voice, we use the verb to be, and then we use this form of the main verb. So what happened to my cake? Where's my cake? What happened? It was eaten. It was eaten. Somebody ate the cake. Somebody ate it. It was eaten. Right? So, but now let's think about everything that we have learned about verbs. We learned about present simple, present simple, present continuous, present perfect, past simple, past continuous, past. We learned all these things, right? And we learned how to make them, and the verb to do, like in present simple, I do, present continuous, I'm doing. These are things that we already learned. But all of those things that we learned can be active voice and passive voice. And probably what we've talked about in our lessons, and probably what you learned mostly, is about active voice. When we say I do, I am doing. This is present simple and present continuous of active voice. If we want to change this to passive voice, our verb is to do still, right? And this is our main verb. So we just need the third form. Do, did, done, right? So done. And present simple, we need to change the verb to be in present simple. So I am, or it is. For example, I can't do my homework. I ask my friend to do my homework. My friend helps me. My friend does my homework. My mom says, "Oh, your homework is finished. It's great. And how did you do it?" "I don't know, but it is done." Right? It is done. Or I could use present perfect. It has been done. So we change the verb to be to present perfect. The verb to be we change to present perfect. Have been or has been. And then the main verb, we just use the third part, done. Has been done. Past simple, I did. That's active voice, right? I did. Past simple, I did. This is active voice. In passive voice, it was done. It was done. So there's three steps that we need to do here. So let's look at another example. We have active voice. If active voice, let's say people watch TV. People watch TV. This is active voice. What do we have here? We have subject, verb, object. Right? The first step, we need to put the object at the beginning of the sentence. Object at the beginning. So we put TV, okay? Step two, we change the verb to be to the correct verb tense, right? So people watch, this is present simple. This is present simple, people watch, present simple. So we change the verb to be to present simple. TV is. It is, right? To be, present simple. It is. So TV is, and then we need the third form of the main verb. The main verb is to watch. The third form, watched. TV is watched. And we could say by people. TV is watched by people. Now, you might think, well, when can I really say this phrase? If we're talking about statistics, TV is watched by 5 million people every second, maybe. So we could talk about this information, right, in general. We could say TV is watched too much during meals, or TV should not be watched during meals, right? So when we're using to be in the third form, this is passive voice.